Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show, and I am Dele Ayodo.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Good morning.
All right, yes, we'll be looking at Nigerians in diaspora, and of course, what it means to us here in the country to have so many of them from different countries deported back home. Deportation, it's really different from those who willingly, on their own volition, decided to return back to the country. It could be very excruciating, really. It could be very emotionally disturbing to be deported, because what deportation means is that it is at the point in which you are arrested or you had an encounter with a security or immigration officer that you find your way into the detention camp, and possibly next flight you are back home. So deportation is that act in which you find yourself home without being prepared at all. Imagine you are cooking and just say you want to go and buy something outside, and then you had an encounter with either the immigration or security, and the next thing is you are on your way to wherever your homeland or
But Dele, there was something that caught my attention. The deportees, the pictures that we saw online, they had all these Ghana must go bags. How were they able to pick those things?
No, for those ones, really, there is usually a process, legal process of deportation. They are not the ones who will pack those things, because at the time in which all those things are going on, they are permitted to see. They are like what we have here. We call the awaiting trials in detention camp. It could be in prison camp, really. Sometimes it depends on the country. Some country will actually put you in the prison. Some has this deportation camp. But the truth is, even the deportation camp is not different from a prison environment, because you are restricted. So many of those things are sent to them, or their friends, relations help them to
they
pack
link
them.
up with people.
Yes, you have to tell them, no, you are free to see so your relation. That you tell them, please, I dropped that trouser, that yellow trouser. You'll find it on top of or inside it, so help me bring it, and things like that. It could be really horrifying. But the story recently is that about 2 weeks ago, the United Kingdom sent back home about 44 Nigerians. We know the regular thing happening in Libya. Libya will constantly deport Nigerians. Sometimes they are killed, beheaded, not just killed, in Libya. The government of Germany has said 99% of Nigerians seeking asylum, which is about 10,000, will find themselves back home in the country. And we are all still fresh with the idea of the new United States president, his immigration policy, Donald Trump, which Nigerians may not escape by the time he begins to execute it. Other countries are also threatening. Everybody is cleaning up his environment, and trust Nigerians. With our population, you know what that means. Every 10 black person where you find, 6 of them will be a Nigerian. So that is the situation. We find out what are the security implications, economic implications. How should government actually prepare to receive these people? These and many more we'll be talking this morning on the Citizens Forum.
And Nigeria has also been seen as the major migrant from Africa. And then let's quickly take a peek at migration in Nigeria. An average of 83 Nigerians cross illegally from Nigeria to Europe on a daily basis, and that's via the Mediterranean Sea in the first 9 months of year 2016. According to the data by the European Union, it showed that the daily figure was extrapolated from the 22,500 illegal Nigerian migrants that the EU said crossed the Mediterranean Sea to Europe, and that was between January and September year 2016. And in 2014, the number of people that also traveled into Europe clinched 280,000 people. In 2015, it rose to 1.5 million. And then from January to December 2016, the number was about 420,000. And within this number, people coming from Nigeria in 2012 was 800, and in 2013, the number was 2,900. And of course, in 2014, the number was 8,700. In 2015, the number skyrocketed to 23,000. 1,000. And then we also have it as 3,700 drowned in the Mediterranean Sea in 2016, only last year, which indicated that 1 in 50 people drown on a daily basis.
All right, staggering statistics. So we have somebody here with us who we know is ably qualified to take us through this process. We have Professor Abiodun Oni. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Professor Abiodun Oni is the head of the Department of Political Science and Public Administration, Babcock University, Ilishan in Ogun State. Prof, I'm sure you have been following this story about deportation of Nigerians. First, how harrowing could it be for somebody facing deportation?
I think before we begin to x-ray the horribleness of the situation, we need to look at the genesis of why people are trying to escape from their roots to other lands that they know little or nothing about. I think some of these people, they are not ready to do many of the jobs around here. Some of them wish to get rich quickly, and some of them by influence of friends and acquaintances are deceived to come over there. And when they are going, they were not ready to perfect their documents. I was telling my colleague as we were coming this morning that the only thing I am afraid in my life is not to comply with the rules and regulation. If you are going and your papers are okay, you had gone through the due process, nobody will deport you at will. So in order to stop that harrowing experience, I think Nigerians who wish to leave our soil for reasons best known to them should try to perfect their document so that they will not be subjected to all this horrible situation.
But aside from perfecting their papers, you find out that even the kind of jobs they engage in over there, it's not even anything to write home about than the ones they should do in Nigeria. We hear stories of some people that wash dead bodies, some actually wash plates and all things like that.
Thank you for that. There is a very close boy of mine who left my department recently quietly, because if he had told me, I would have discouraged him. First class candidate, did master's distinction, and he left quietly. Anytime we speak on phone now, because for months he did not talk to me, but later he contacted me and I said, the only sin you're living is a big sin, but the bigger sin will be for you to remain mortuary attendants and plate washers there. So some of them think everything's gloomy, everything's
Green.
there, but until they get there, they begin to do many horrible things.
Professor Abiodun, let's look at diplomacy and politics. Can we say some countries have the right or the moral justification, okay, not right, moral justification or diplomatic assertion to deport people? For instance, the United Kingdom and then France. If you look at the relationship between us and them, if you look at the sacrifice Africa, Nigeria has made, First World War, Second World War, wars we do not know anything about, we were conscripted and recruited to go and fight, and many of our forefathers have helped to build these countries, and many of the wealth of a country like France and the UK were also made, the foundation were made here in Nigeria. So do they have, can't Nigeria, Abela was talking about reparation in the start time. So George, coming from that background, will you say they are justified to really deport anybody from these countries?
My first reaction is that we have many Nigerians working in these countries and they are not being deported. Those that are being deported are the illegal immigrants.
You could be illegal. Illegal means you don't have
You
the
don't
permit
have
to do the job. But once you are not a criminal and you are still doing the job, so can we say such people should be deported? There are a lot of them like that. They don't have requisite papers, but they have never been involved in any act of
Let me be guilty of repetition. I've told you, if you have not comply with the rules and regulation of the hosting country, they have the right to say you can go. You know.
I understood that, but we are looking at history.
The other one you are talking about, the history.
Abiodun was asking for reparation.
Yes. They are mere rhetorics. They are mere assertions which have no place in law. There are diplomatic rights. You know, there's one concept in international relations we call national interest. It knows no bound when you want to pursue what is your national interest at a particular period in time. Your interest matters most. You don't regard other nations as the best. So what is best for you at that particular time in history is what you pursue. If they are polluting the place is against their national interest, they will deport at free will. So they owe no Nigerian, they owe nobody any apology for deporting them if they constitute threats. Are you getting to their national interest?
Okay, we know that the economy is down now. Do you think Nigeria is prepared, is ready to accept these deportees?
That's another thing entirely. Even now, those who are here, the Nigerian government cannot even take care of them. They become more problematic when they come. I think what I will advocate for is for these countries seeking to deport our people to give us some years of moratorium so that things could be put in place by their relations for them, because some of them are really making money from even this menial job. They could send money home, put some things up for them, thereafter they could come. Though after that period of moratorium, they could now be hard on us. But to say they should come now, robbery, people, you know, they are already robbing in the afternoon. Some will cover their face, some will not cover their face. You will see people now robbing without covering their face because they want to survive and they don't want to die. So please, let us appeal to UK, let us appeal to Libya, US and Germany to give us a period of moratorium so that they will not constitute serious security threats for Nigeria.
But don't you think the UK too, they are battling with insecurity issues over there too?
Yes, that is true. That is true. And the history that we have served them, they have colonized us, they are all true. But our heads can talk for them to be able to see reasons why now, this period of recession, why they need to assist us. But that they will not be repatriated, I cannot beg for that in perpetuity.
Let's now look at how to prepare for them, both as government and as family members. These are people who've been away from the system for a very long time. Even those of us who are here knows that things have changed seriously. So they may, even the weather itself may be a difficult thing for them to bear. The weather itself has changed. How should government first prepare for these people?
That's a big question for me to answer. Because even this government, like I told you, they have not been able to take care of those at home. The obedient people. Talk less of people who additional burden. They are additional burden. But for me, there's no problem without a solution. They could build some homes for them because most of them when they come back, they cannot locate their roots. That is the truth. Then they can build some homes for them, take their statistics when they come, put them somewhere. Maybe they can buy this, because when I traveled a few years ago, I saw a Nigerian driving this public bus transport there. They could train as public transport drivers, give them buses to drive, give them some other jobs.
No, you just talk about our lazy, those of us who are
Did
home.
they do anything like that for
The
them?
food is not enough for us to eat.
But you know, the people at home are familiar with the terrain. They could find their level. But these people who are coming, they cannot find their level for now. So before that time, they could be temporarily settled so that they will not constitute serious threat. On the family, at the family level, they could be sending money home now for their family to put up some things they will be doing. When the car wash is a very lucrative business, so maybe you people don't know. This Okada man that brought me to led my car to this place today, collected a sum of 400 naira from NNPC to this place. That is something. Can buy Okada for them, train them, then they begin, give them on a loan basis, then they pay, they repay. Before they repay, they will get acclimatized, settle down, leave the camp, go and be living the life on their own.
But with their status, do you think they would want to pick up such jobs? It's so demeaning.
Okay. What they are doing there is worse than what you are thinking of. You know, formally, when you leave your village and you are coming to Lagos, even up to now, they start to send text messages to you asking for money, this and that, because to an average Nigerian, we pluck money on trees in Lagos. It is just the same thing now over there. They don't pluck money on trees again there. Things are hard. So if on the government platform, government cannot do more than that, because employment is a problem, but they can be temporarily settled.
Let's look at what can be done, at least, to reduce the number of illegal travelers by the government. Is there anything government can do in that direction?
No.
To reduce the number of those who will be leaving this country illegally?
There is a need to appeal even to the immigrant. I have an uncle. I'm not seeing for years now. He told me he was deported from Libya. It was public transport from one country to the other he took to Libya. He's back home. He's doing one fine job, one fine but menial job around here. We need to appeal to people who are living. They need to have a thinking, a rethinking that they can make it here. It's not in the other land that they can make it. When I travel to my town today, I don't like calling my town village. It's a town. So you still see our classmates going to farm, tapping wine. In fact, we drink their wine. They give us yam and all sorts of things. Not everybody will come to Lagos. Not everybody will come to Abeokuta. Let people know that they can make it within Nigeria. So government needs to embark on this national orientation and reorientation.
Okay, some have blamed this migration on poverty and economic meltdown. If the economy is grown, if it is improved, and then poverty is addressed, will people still want to migrate to other places, or will they still want to stay right here in their country?
The answer is both yes and no. Even before the recession, people have been going. There's nothing you can do to stop people who are tasty of leaving this country for other countries, having a parochial feel that things are rosy there. So there's little or nothing you can do. But if the recession is, the economy improve, the recession effect is going down, maybe some will be persuaded personally and through other routes to drop the idea of Andrew.
Okay, before we move on to the implication and its effects now, I was going to say something. Okay, let's look at the implications and effects. Okay, yes, I remember now. What lessons have we learned so far? Have we learned any lessons so far?
From the deportations?
Yes, from the deportation.
And threats of deportation.
Deportation, yes. And threats too, yes.
Many lessons. But the chief among them is that one has to be contented. Know fully well that not everybody will be rich. This richness is it's not everybody that will have money, but it's everybody that can live a contented life, and that contentment is relative. If you are able to eat 3 meals, square meal in a day, you are contented, even without riding a car. But some people want to build 3, 4 houses together. They want to ride 4 cars at the same time. Then whatever you are, even some of them have good job here before they go. You get what I'm telling you?
Yes.
So like the boy I told you who has
First class.
first class, employed by this sponsor for masters, yet left. So some of them are driven out by lack of contentment and desire to make money at all costs. So we need to appeal to our common sense. We need to tell ourselves that why checking out when we can make it here, when everything they are doing there we can do here. Then the other lesson is that the deportation is a lesson, serious lesson for people who traveled and try to forget their roots. I am telling you, if you bring them to Nigeria, drop them anywhere, many people don't know the way to their house again. Like this Abeokuta. Abeokuta has changed in the last few years. That if you think this is Abeokuta of 10 years ago, you are deceiving yourself. So many have lost contact with their family members. So they become problem here. So let those who have traveled out, legally or illegally, try to maintain contacts at home. Then let them try to remember home repeatedly. Send people home. If they don't have papers, then they could be sending money through people who have said they can travel back home after a few years.
But we have also heard stories about sending back money too. Some people will still send money, and then maybe their siblings or family will confiscate such money. And when they even come back, they don't get anything at all.
That is even mind. What you are telling me is mind. There have been cases where they have been killed formally and informally when the money has been mismanaged and they want to cover up. There was a case of somebody like that I heard about. He sent money to his friends to build a house for him, set up a business. He was picked in the airport. Do you know, between the airport and the so-called house, the man lost his life because there was no house anywhere.
Okay, he was wasted.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but it's a pity that 9 out of 10 Nigerians are corrupt, either physically or psychologically. If we can get one out of. So it's dangerous to sending money home, but out of the 9, you can still see one. Like in my family now, I know somebody who can build a house for me if I travel anywhere. I have 2 houses as you are looking at me, and I don't build one on my own. I sent money home. In fact, the one in my town, I was so much. If I had not gone home the day they were doing the foundation, my thought would have been maybe the 4th week I went back home would have been they just arranged something for me. They said I should go and check. When I got there, it has reached window level. I said, Baba, what magic did you concoct? Baba said, this you have sent this, you have sent that. Look at the cement. Is this there? I said, immediately I pumped the remaining money, and Baba finished the house.
You call him Baba. Baba is different from a youth too.
For every family, there can still be Baba now.
All right, here's Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM, looking at the implications, the effects, both locally, nationally, and internationally, of the deportation we have witnessed so far, and the seeming threat of deportations across Western world. The US may likely, UK has done it, Germany has told us they will, and Libya, France are also threatening so many Nigerians. And of course, if you check statistics, you know the volume of money exchanging between these countries and Nigeria. Sometimes it's as big as the national budget on its own. So it has its own for and against implications and defects as we speak. We will open the telephone lines and our other means of communication for you to get engaged in it. We have with us the head of Department of Political Science and Public Administration at the Babcock University, Professor Abiodun Oni. So start sending your messages as we open the telephone lines for your contributions.
0809-868-7344 or 0909-146-9670 and the short code dial 32120. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name and forward it to 32120, and also the Twitter handle at RockCityFM, at RockCityFM.
All right, we have our first caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
I'm Shuboli. I'm calling from Ayodo. Now, you see, as much as I don't subscribe to the idea of seeking the golden fleece outside the country, at the same time, you see, the thing is that when we look at it, okay, like Professor Oni was saying that, I mean, people you don't need to travel out and whatever, fine. But even in the villages, okay, how many farm estates we have? Okay, you see people walking, I mean, even graduates or whatever, going about the street and whatever. Okay, if you put them in the farm estate, you will equip it, right? And we have many like that. What would they be going outside the country for? But that means, I mean, if our government are failing, and that is now making us to be curious about the outside world. Good morning.
All right, thank you. Let's take another call. We'll add calls and then just note them, Prof. Hello. Hello, morning.
Hello, good morning.
0809 8687344. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Chienye.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dele. My name is Ilishan Johnson. Good morning, Prof. You see, my own is the government to start working now. The government should spring into action now by setting lands aside in each local government of the Federation and start constructing prefab houses down so that when these people come and they want to go back to their local government areas, they will meet those prefab houses there. Those things they want to do, the government should put it in place temporarily, because some of them will stay while some will not stay. Those who stay temporarily will have something doing before they locate their relations if possible. And then when setting these prefab houses, let them know they cannot stay more than 2 years or 3 years here, because the deportation will be continued, so that other people will have a place to live in when they come in. Let the government spring into action now before we are caught off guard in this country. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
All right, let's take another call. Morning.
Hello.
0909146. Yes, morning. 9670.
Good morning, Dele. Good morning, Chienye.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. Nkom. Prof, well spoken. These are my views. Nigeria doesn't owe you any responsibility more than what they are owing us now. Number one. Number two, if you go to a country and you go there illegally for whatever reason, you should be deported your country. Whether your country can take care of you or not, that is irrelevant. You don't go and become a nuisance in another person's land. Three, Nigerians are very gullible. They believe everything. So it's easy for you to treat them, get them to, they will believe, and every Nigerian believes if you go to US, you can pick dollars in the street. Not knowing that it is easier to make naira here than to make dollars in the United States, because you pay for everything except the air. Three, then I in Jamaica, Montego Bay, some years ago, and I saw a woman from my village in Akwa Ibom State selling beef in Montego Bay. Selling beef, nothing more than that. Look, the amount of money she must have spent to that journey is close to ₦1 million. And you go down there to sell beef. And when you are deported, people start talking all sorts of things. I talked to a woman from my village who could speak well. I couldn't believe it. They said that she her sister. I spoke with her and we spoke the same language. In Jamaica, selling beads. Oh my goodness. Nigerians are dying in the Mediterranean with all sorts of things. And the amount of money they spend. They don't spend naira, dollars. Can that help them to start businesses in Nigeria? Can that be to farmland? They think that when you go to Europe, you can get pounds selling euros and all that. It's a lie. It's a lie. And our churches should stop praying for visa. Let's say, people want visas to come out, so they will pray for them. Those are the people we should also talk to. That's also this thing. Please stop praying for visa because you are praying for to go and die. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, let's take this one and check. Okay, we'll permit.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, my sister. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
I greet you. This is Kyle Durun from Alaska. My take this morning is on these deported citizens of Nigeria. It's not about economic crisis issue that we must probably look for what we begin to eat now.
Hello? Are you still there?
I still there.
All right, we lost contact. Let's move away from the telephone. Hello, morning. We'll take this one, then move away from the telephone.
Hello?
Okay, thank you. Hello, good morning. Ola Animal is the name calling from Ayodo.
Morning.
The resource person, you are highly appreciated. Let me take off from where Dr. Ogun stopped. You see, when people travel, let me say this way, there's nothing any government can do in terms of providing for the citizens that will stop people who wants to travel from traveling out. For whatever reasons, everybody wants to travel. I've met with so many people during my course of traveling on airline, where you see people from Saudi Arabia, people from Netherlands, from Europe, going to some other places. It's a normal thing. But when you do such a thing, when you venture into it, it's your private affair. The government did not send you to go. Of course, our government must have social security safety valve for us in the country, in the first instance. But where you do it and you were deported for one reason or the other, it is not the headache of the government. The most the government can do is to provide, in this situation, a transit camp where you may not have to stay more than 3 months, except if you have other exigencies or other reasons that you can prove. They may not even have cause to provide you a job. They can give you a momentary support to make you survive. The existing social security valve in the country must be able to absorb you. There shouldn't be anything special in terms of providing any social valve for those coming in when you are not providing for those within already. Don't indulge them. Let them come into the system that you are making sure it's going to be okay for everybody. That is the primary function of the government anyway. But to say that, go and do this, go and do that, they are not special video. You went on your own, you are deported, you will face the consequences. It's your choice. God gave us the opportunity to make choices. I am not being heartless. I am telling you the reality. Those who stayed back to face the situation at home may not have other opportunities, but they are contending with it. There are opportunities, but government must make sure we have survival opportunities here more than pushing people away. But whoever chose to do that is gambling. He knew the consequences, and he must be able to face up to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Professor Oni, your response to some of these issues.
Many of them are spoken, all of them are spoken very well. When a baby who has tested putting his or her hand in the fire is putting it again, we should know the consequences. Well, because of social responsibilities, I will not support fully Nkom and Olumide and the last speaker. If they are deported, there should be momentary, like he said, momentary transit arrangement for them. That's all. Because if you keep treating them with glove hand others will be going. Can you get it? Let them know from the onset that government hold them not more than the social responsibilities of 2-3
Yeah, but
months.
what about the larger implication on, in quote now, innocent
That's what we are
Nigerians who
saying,
are
that
here?
they should be settled maybe 2-3 months. And like the first speaker said, to the second speaker, set up land and farmland in various villages. When they come, they can either be supervisors of this farm if they cannot farm. Just find something for them to do temporarily so that they don't constitute menace to the larger society. Can you get what I'm saying?
All right, let's add.
But like I said, there's need for sensitization of the people that what are being achieved there can be achieved here. You don't need to. Like
But many of them leave after being frustrated by the system here, sir.
Let me tell you, when I was in the university, I wouldn't know because of my exposure to imperialism and colonialism, their implications and all. I did not even think of traveling out of this country to go and see those who exploited us, those who subjugated us to so many hardship, so many torture in the past. If the pictures we saw in the primary, secondary school were everything, where shame were put in the mouth of the people, were anything, why should I go and glorify them again? Why can't I stay here? I'm getting about 2011, I discovered I had no option than than to travel. When I came to Babcock, I had to take a passport. If we so determined to make it here, we will. I've never worked for government, and it's not likely I work for government. You get what I'm saying? Let everybody, let family take care of their own when before they become problems, before they become frustrated.
That's the issue. Except you want to run away from reality. There are some people who are basically frustrated and then got advice from others. For every human being, at a point in time, there is a level of pain and suffering you can take. And then if the opportunity comes, they go. Will you blame such people? Such people will also be blaming their government for getting them frustrated.
Let me tell you that frustration is psychological. It's a thing of the mind. Psychological, frustration equally has levels. What is a frustration to you is a joy to me. As a professor in the university, there have been pressures on me in the recent time. Go and take a driver, go and take this, go and take that, go and do this. What I'm doing here today is one of the functions of a professor. Can you get it? Looking at problems, diagnosing the problems. It's not for me to be suffer driven, sit on the back of the car. So some people will do that. Me, I'm not a frustrated professor.
So
I'm a very vibrant. Yes. Yes. So frustration is of the mind, though.
Can we quickly add tweets and messages before we take the break?
We'll quickly do that. Professor, over there, it's not as rosy as we think.
Yes,
Most of our people there won't tell the truth. It's all about money. Change $10,000 to Naira. You are Kingo and then you are worshipped.
Yes.
Many had their teaching jobs here and left it.
Yes.
My friend did because the girlfriend said she would not marry a teacher. Okay, that's from Kayode from Randa.
Yeah.
Then we switch on to the tweets. Yemi Da Vinci, the countries will hold on to our qualified professionals and deport the ones who do the menial jobs. Let them bring back our doctors. I'm sure even the doctors don't even want to come back to Nigeria. Adedeji Adeyanju has this one. Government may not be able to provide any job for the deportees because they traveled without government approval. Then Lamino Ifeoluwa, well, since that's how they want it, it should be the way. If it is what's the other way around, we would have taken laws into our own hands. Then Adedeji Adeyanju, sincerely, government has no business with the deportees because they traveled for personal business and not for the government. Then, life after deportation, Ogun state government should provide land for the deportees for farming. Simple. Then Gab Kunle, there should be no special treatment for the deportees. The government can only provide a transit camp. They are not better than we that wait. That's it for the messages and tweets now.
All right, and that will be it for this segment on the show. We will be back after the 10 o'clock news, and we'll still have with our Professor Abiodun Oni as our guest. Don't go anywhere. All right, nice to know that you are still there listening to Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM in the city of Babcock. Citizens from this morning looking at the deportation and growing threats of deportation to Nigerians by some countries, developed countries in particular. And we have with us the head of the Department of Public Administration and Political Science, Professor Abiodun Oni. Before that break, Professor Oni, um, let me pick one of the statements, I think from the tweet or SMS out there. Somebody saying um, government should really have nothing to do with these people in terms of trying to rehabilitate them. Then where will be, somebody also talked about the social responsibility of government. These people are citizens of this country, no matter what happens or no matter what have happened to them. The responsibility of government is to ensure that as citizens of Nigeria, you are comfortable. Should that be right diplomatically? If government did not, you have also said government should not bother itself about talking with those countries. Would it be right diplomatically for government to just say, okay, yes, they are illegal, we've deported them, and fold our hands?
No, what I said really was that we can open negotiation, asking for moratorium of 5 years, so that they can get a bit settled at home before they will finally, maybe voluntarily come back home. And if they fail to keep to their promise, they can now be deported. No, there are a lot of diplomatic channels between the two governments, between governments in a nation and the other, that will resolve this matter. But if these our people constitute menace to them, threats to them, they will have no option than to deport them. My argument, the kernel of my argument, is that we should be given a period of time to prepare those people coming home and for us to prepare for them. So government cannot fully fold its arms. Although nobody sent them there, but they become a problem to the larger society when they come back.
Let's add the tweets, the SMS before we reopen the telephone lines, please.
Okay, how much do they pay to bail in Okada that violates night riding? Okay, and where do they pay it to? He's trying to get that information. Then, good morning. The issue is beyond what you people think. There are some people who cannot have a meal, and he or she has the means of traveling out. Would you blame such a person? That's a question from
That's a
Pius.
paradox. Somebody who do not have money for a meal. Let's just assume the meal is 5,000 naira, and then has the money to spend close to ₦1 million
to travel out.
To
do what?
All right.
Okay, good morning, sirs. Dr. Okay, people against traveling are financially okay. That's why people are seeking for greener pastures, because things are too hard for them. Okay, this is Pius again from Shaje. Then Lamino Ifelua. It's just the money that most migrants are after. It's not totally their fault. Let them come back and make things better. Then Yemi Da Vinci. The real issue is economic slavery and the economy hits men and jackals, make sure Africa and South America countries don't prosper. Then such people will willingly go and then slave away in other countries. Okay, that's it for the messages and tweets now.
All right, so we'll go back to the phones.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Auntie Chienye and Mr. Dele. This is Ola Oluwadekole from NIC. Good morning, our prof.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, I think we can now see that the dynamics of things are changing in the present world. Yeah. That this position is happening now is to say that if this now, it will surely happen. We are just shifting the goalpost, postponing the evil day. Prof, I like your submission. Your words might appear something of a joke, but actually it is a reality. People have lived in fantasy of abroad, seeking El Dorado, where no exist.
and dangerous romanticizing its idea of foreign countries. Let me say, most of these travels border more on neocolonialism. I need to further neocolonialism, imperialism, and all this modern day slavery. This may be our own Zionism, movement of the people. This did our own in 1948, and it has helped us. This came out of it as a strong Goyan nation. We are all living witnesses to this. In all this time, I think we must remember two things. The words of Waterloo, how Europe underdeveloped Africa, and also what Buhari said in 1984, that this generation of Nigeria and these future generations have no country other than Nigeria. We shall remain here and establish this together. May God bless us. Thank you very much.
Amen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Dele, this is Kaudi. Please, I never use
Kaudi, can just go on quickly. I wouldn't
I was coming from the angle of economic crisis, when that thing dropped, the signal. Whether we have...
Hello?
Again.
Hello, Kaudi.
Okay,
All
it
right.
happened again. We lost him.
Obviously, not from here. Hello, morning. Let's take another call.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
This is Johnson Olufatoki, calling from Ayodo.
Thank you.
The challenge we have with the Nigerians, with intention, having intention to travel out of this country, believing that they can only make ends meet by traveling out of this country. It's a serious challenge. And both the government and families of different homes have a lot to do in this regards. In terms of education, though I think the government should even assemble about 3/4 of those affected, those that were deported. They should be able to educate Nigerians or potential travelers what they face while in US. So there's need for education. The problem is most Nigerians that are even in America, for example, have they want to come back home. But the unfortunate thing is they will think of, when I come back, how will people look at me? What explanation will I give? I've had interaction with a lot of people and they regretted even traveling out. Those that maybe feel that are able to do little things here, maybe they were involved in legal dealings, and 90% of those involved in legal dealings are in prison already. So what I'm saying in essence is that the government have responsibility, families, homes have responsibility to educate our children and brothers, sisters that are thinking of traveling out. If you want to travel out, it has to be maybe for the business. You want to go and buy something and come back, or you want to go for further education. Beside that, there's nothing that is in those countries. We should stay in this country and salvage it together. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's stay in this country. Let's salvage it together. No, you will respond just okay. Let's take 2 other calls.
Hello.
Yes,
Dele, what I'm saying is this: our government should look into how to have these people back gladly now. Let the government begin to ask for the type of jobs they have been in that particular places, probably in UK that we are coming from now. If these people had made mistakes, there's no doubt about it. And please, none of them should never think they are not going to be worth anything any longer. Let me put it that way. Because if they feel like constituting threats, just like the case we had now from your radio station about somebody that was being sentenced, they will feel they hurt the more, because I don't believe that crime can ever help them because they have been deported or forcefully asked to leave that place. We must not feel like we don't want them around anymore. We should agree now to probably have them back. They have done the worst that they needed to leave this place. but because of greed or whatever. Let the government be ready to save these people. Because what I'm saying is that if government doesn't look, into their direction, it might be another thing entirely. Let's have, just like some people have probably said that they should have some kind of transport or whatever. I don't know how that one is being operated, but let the people be available to work with them wherever they are. They need help from us so that they will be able to feel at home again. But unfortunately, they have missed it. I don't believe that they can work in any ministry. They cannot be allowed to work in any ministry any longer. But they should look for agricultural work to do now. Thank you very much.
All right, let's take this one. We'll again move away to permit Professor Oni to take his response. Hello. You can try again. Hello, morning.
Hello.
Hello, you are on. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello?
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah.
I am Mr. Olakelani. I am saying that now, this is an indication that countries all over the world, especially developing countries, should attach much importance towards developing the socio-economic lives of their people. That is that. Another thing is that I think the United Nations needs to intervene in this case. Intervene, I think there should be a process by which immigrants should be sent packing out of the country, out of their country. You see, what these people suffer, those who are being sent out of the country, what they suffer is even enough to give them a sort of trauma that could send them to their early grave when they get to their respective countries. And another thing is that where people travel out of Nigeria to other countries to do menial job, is that most remunerations are not being attached to this menial job in this country. People even look down on them. A country where people look down on technical craftsmen because they are not graduates. You can see this. These are most of the problems we have. And when these people come back, to resettle them could be a problem. Even if they set up businesses, government come up with their
approaching 2 minutes.
With people come up, the government come up with their policy, a popular policy to frustrate the business you set up. That is another thing. Why people run out of this country. Thank you.
All right, yes, sir. We'll hold on. Move away from the telephone. Last person.
Oh, thank you, sir, Mr. Dele. I have listened to Mr. Fatuki. I've listened to Ola Kilani and most of others. Yeah, it's a challenge for them to come back. It's a challenge for others to want to join. Yes, family and friends and even government need a lot of role to play. Not the suggested education, and I'm adding enlightenment. Let us educate our people. Joining the statement of Buhari in 1984 that no any other country except Nigeria. We need to inculcate patriotism into our people, nationalism, patriotism into our people, that there is no any other country that is better than this. When they embark on why the other time, there are a lot of education and enlightenment programs to sensitize people that that was the period we were talking about, Andrew. Let government invest heavily on this enlightenment program. Bring pictures of people who are not doing well there. Show them on our televisions, parade them on the billboard, so that people who are going there will know that there's nothing to go and do, because joining some other commentators here that government has no business. Yes, government did not send them. Yes, what should be the role of government? No, government, when the problems come cumulatively, robbers here. If you remember, after 2007 elections in Ogun State became a den of robbers, because those who were making money before could not make money on a daily basis. We saw a lot of robbery. If Sangam was a target, Abeokuta was a target, until armored tanks were bought and put in strategic places. So if they come back, not all of them will be fully engaged that time. And when you have an empty hand, idle hand, devil will find a job for them. Therefore, various suggestions. One, agriculture. Then we need to embark on training. You can't put people. I have an uncle who is running a poultry farm. A poultry farm is not a thing you run in a day. You need a lot of experience to acquire an experience for a period of time before you embark on it. Though my persuasive theory that we should persuade them, let them take time before we come. They could learn all these things even over there.
Okay, so
They come back.
let's further expatiate the submission of Honorable Fatoki,
Okay.
which I think it's a reality. There are so many Nigerians in developed countries outside these shores who are there legally and illegally, but they are simply scared of returning home. They would have loved to come back home. But again, they are faced with stories, they are faced with reports, they are faced with the reality of how difficult it is
for them to
survive and readjust. So, how should we handle such situations?
Then enlightenment again. Let us educate them that it is not as worse as the pictures are being painted in the social media particularly. So they need to be educated, they need to be enlightened so that persuading them to come back home will not be a difficult thing. So the two ways, dissuade those who are going, can you get it? Then persuade those who are coming back.
Alright, there's a standard way of deportation, of deporting people accepted, there's a no. But the truth again, I'm sure what I'm saying is that sometimes these things are just on paper. Some of these immigration personnel, individuals, do not follow it. Even in UK, that claims to be one of the best in terms of keeping to human rights and abuse, and US and abuse. When you have cause to be in the locker room, as they call it, with a policeman and immigration officer, you know that what they say outside is different. There are stories of people being deported and then they have their mouth sellotaped and nose, but they don't want them to give them trouble as they are taking them into the plane. So I think it depends on how you react when you have an encounter with them.
Let me share my experience with you. December 2014, I traveled. I secured a visa to travel for a graduation of a niece, but the visa could not be secured after the graduation has been ended. So I decided to go and spend 2-3 weeks there in December. And as I got to Heathrow Airport, I was to be deported. They were questioning me, visa, August, then you are coming December. I took my ID card along, even took some thesis I'm supervising here because I know they will question me. And they say, all these are not tenable excuses. What are you looking for? I mean, I have a gift for employment. I was being interrogated. But I made a friend in the plane, but unfortunately, I was made to lose the friend because I was left alone. They say, hey, this is why they call one woman to come and listen to me. The woman came and said, this is a valid visa. But as soon as the woman left, you get it. The man
so it depends on the individual officer
to interrogate me
that you are dealing with.
So,
all right, can we add Twitter messages to this?
Sure, we can. We have this from Kenny Additional from Ashiru. There are two categories of people that travel out: the dropouts or people without skills, and then we have the graduates and professionals. Let us not shy away from the fact that the Nigerian government has failed us. Let's go to the grassroots. You cannot feel the impact of government, and that is why every individual who stole our resources should be stoned. All professionals I know working in Canada, UK, and US are doing very fine, and they never pray to come back to this country. Let there be an enabling environment, and nobody will travel abroad. As of today, where is the president of the country? Moving to moving to the next one, and
You can
MOK from Ayetoro. Our economy needs to be rebuilt to accommodate all Nigerians. Okay, Nigerians should not be big for nothing. Imagine the activities of the headsmen everywhere and then government containing them. What a heresy. That's from MOK from Ayetoro. Then this Andrew is common with us in the west and eastern part of Nigeria. You scarcely get northerners. It's our craze for money. God help us. Comfort from Ibarra sent in that one. Then for the tweet, Yemi Da Vinci, Professor, can Nigeria find a political way? Okay, this one is not pleasurable. Michael Abiodun, contentment should be the watchword for all of us. Financial resources wasted on traveling can bring fortune if spent in Nigeria. Then we have Banting. Bad leadership is what is killing Nigeria. How many people are rushing to foreign land in the 70s for greener pastures? Let's restructure Nigeria.
All right. Okay. Yes, a prof. Yeah.
Yeah, we can find the political will, but the will is in us. If you are pressman, you will have cause to go out on the day of the elections, and you will see what transpired when people will be giving 1,500 naira to 200 naira. Where did they get this money from? They got it from the national purse, and when you are getting that, you are already getting your tomorrow. You are already getting your tomorrow. There's no bad leadership. What we have is the bad followership. Because I was telling my group of students who came visiting me last week, I said you are welcome to where I am a tenant. Because you are the landlord. My tenancy will expire 2018 July, and another person will come in. If people get to know this, and let it be known that those they are electing to get into offices are tenants, and we the electorate are landlords, those who are tenants will be very careful.
Yeah, but because in a situation where the supposed landlord has submitted
that's what I'm
as
saying. That's what somebody asked, do we have the political will? And I said the will is in us. If we have that orientation and reorientation that power belongs to the people and that only people can give power to the government, then those who are there will sit down. When the election comes now, you see people moving from here to here, carry Ghana must go, and you take the Ghana must go, and you are saying government has failed us. We have failed ourselves. We have failed ourselves. The nature, our politics today will continue to make us to move dangerously into a deeper recession, because its money making venture is our power, our movement towards seeking for power is is built around money bags. And by the time they distributed this money here and there, they go to their favorite places, they will recoup it. It's an investment. Politics today is an investment in Nigeria. Until we do that one, we have a notion. That's why I'm a professor of political science. Beyond footing and program of this nature, I can never, for now, because tomorrow the political landscape can change. I see service as sacrifice. I don't see service as a comfort. Because when you are appointed to or elected to a position, there must be a lot of discomfort to you, to your family, and even to your community. Your time will not be there for you. Your time will not be there for your family. Then, if people see power, seeking for power as a mean to make sacrifice, I am telling you, people will change their orientation towards power, and that we can change a bad leader through electoral process. Then the political will be there.
All right, telephone lines reopened 0809 8687344. We have someone?
Yes, sure we
Yes,
do.
morning. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Shibwali.
Thank you.
Please, Professor, please, I want you to kindly tell us about the social contract. Good morning. Thank you.
Social contract.
Social
Yes, social contract.
There are three schools of thought about social contract. We have the Ogesian, who believe the might is right. a contract, whether social, whether political, whether economy, is always between parties, and a party must be able to keep its own
part of the agreement.
And if one does not, I know where you are going. I will jump even over you. That the government is not keeping part of the agreement.
Yeah,
It is we. I want to re-emphasize. It is it is bad orientation that we have here. When you have, look at the last election, where the Dasuki Gate revelation has come from. That money is enough to build so many industries. Went into a private pocket in the process of seeking for re-election. So we are our problems. Government can fulfill their contract. Government can satisfy the people, but this money meant to satisfy the people to fulfill their contract are going to private pockets in the name of election and re-election. So I know the theories of
in fact, I'm sure that's the question. It's not asking for the academic.
That's what he wants to find out.
Yes, that's why I directed him to that.
All right, okay, let's take this one.
Taking him on Thomas Hope John Locke theory of social
contract. Money.
Hello.
How are you?
On the line.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Professor, I greet you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I joined the discussion recently, but I can still say one or two things about it because most of us have gone through the nightmare of wanting to travel out. Some people went as far as disposing millions of properties. At the end of the day, it's either they were duped or the thing did not work out, naturally. Yes, I don't want to celebrate this issue. But I believe that there are many factors contributing why people go and seek for greener pastures. Number one, because of the state of economy, everybody is looking for means of survival, And there's one thing about this issue we are discussing. It's more fashionable. Traveling is no more fashionable. There was a time when it was the order of the day, but the glamour has been lost. Why? Because every country wants to protect its interests. That is why I like Donald Trump, although I am not his fan, I am not his admirer, but I like what he said, that American force. How I wish our leaders can have the interest of the people at heart. Let us tap into that revelation of Donald Trump. If our leader could say Nigerian force, if they have been saying this right from 1960, nobody would have traveled out. Before Libya became in a state of pandemonium, Libyans don't travel out. They will go to American embassy in Libya, you will see the place deserted. They will go to German embassy, the place is deserted. Why? Because their leaders have the interest of the people at heart. How I wish our leaders can tap into that. Look at Malaysia. They came to our country, steal our palm kernel seedling. Today, Malaysia is the largest oil producing nation and exporter. Nigerians, we are still one step forward, 10 steps backward. So I don't blame the people that travel out. It's just that it's no more fashionable. What we want the government to do right now is that they should give us what we need and not what we want. They must give us those things that are necessary. They should make our country an Eldorado, a place that is, enviable for people to come in. It's just a pity that we are in this situation. And those that are undergoing this present state of, deportation, I would advise them not to allow them to, affect their psychology. Let them come back home. Let them be deported. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Professor. Okay, no, let's start this call. Sorry. Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, this is Israel from Chienye.
Israel.
Yeah, actually, I'm not contributing to the program on the issue. What actually happened is, especially the market, and there are markets that say that people came to sell human being meat. So they have already arrested them at the NFTDC headquarters there. So they're actually looking at the issue, whether it is human being meat or otherwise. So I just have to say that.
All right, thank you for
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, Professor.
Thank you, the last speaker, but the last speaker before Israel. You have really spoken very well. State of the economy, traveling no longer, Donald Trump. Unfortunately, the two of us are different when it comes to Donald Trump. I am passionately a student of Donald Trump politics. I was like a mad person when I was telling people, look, judging from my background as a political scientist and my ability to have predicted accurately and precisely some elections in Nigeria, I know Trump will win. Based on some, he was speaking the mind of the Americans, and we who, some of us who are busybody traveling there, who were able to get green card and all sorts of things, were singing another tune. I was telling people Trump will win because he was speaking the mind of the American, and he was so passionate about it. I will do this, I will do that. All those things are to defend the national interest, the public interest of the American, and the national interest of the American. Why would the American not vote for him? Why would they vote for somebody who they may not likely to hold? They know he has no serious antecedent to have prevented from winning. He knows that there are no people who will be invisible or visible godbrothers that will be dictating to him. So he has won, and he wanted to carry out his threat now, and people are now shouting, American first. American first. That has been the slogan of the Americans. But here is very sad. Again, you are making a statement, government to do this, government to do that. My experience about Nigeria is that no Nigerian wants to do anything. They want government to do everything for us. Government to do even on the way to our farm. Governments must come and do it. The way to the river in the village, governments will come and do it. I could remember in those days when we were young, when there are communal duties, when people will wake up in the morning, they will be mobilized. Then we go and do this communal job. The town hall in my village was built by a society. The school hall in my village was built by a society, but these days it's government and government and government and government alone. So people need to rethink. We need reorientation. We need enlightenment, and we need education to be able to do things alright. If government does not refuse to help you, why can't you help yourself?
All right, open the telephone lines. Hello.
Hello. Hello. We have you. Good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. My name is Paul. Calling from Abara.
Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm calling from Abara, Paul.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you,
for
Paul.
joining us. Go on.
Yeah. Please, Professor, with all due respect, I understand what you're saying, but I tend to differ from your point in the fact that we are trying to make it, we are not telling ourselves the truth. Now, what has government given to us as Nigerian citizens? We pay for everything. The road, we should build our roads. There's nothing the government has ever paid for. Let me use myself as an example. Government has never paid anything for me. Through school, through everything. Government has never paid anything for me. Now, you go to America, you go to South Africa, you have a lot of scholarships in the university. But here, how many scholarships? How many scholarships do we have? How many fundings do we have for research? Many we have the standard research base. Nothing. So you tell the person to stay back here and do what? Now, you talk about somebody having a good job, getting an MSc abroad, who prefer to travel. Why not? Getting a good job, we are in a recession. Anybody can be sacked anytime. I'm working, getting employed, but if I see my way today to go and further my academics, I'm going to do it. I understand there are opportunities in our country, but I mean, it's easier. You said it's easier to make naira than to make dollar. I doubt that. Because for me, I put it this way. It is easier to become an average earning human being in America than to become an average earning person in Nigeria. What it is hard to become a rich man in America, to become overboardly rich in America might be tough. But in Nigeria, to become average person and to have food, it's hard.
Approaching 2 minutes.
Extremely rich.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's add another call to it, and we'll switch over.
Hello.
That another call is Dabari,
Okay.
and I'm calling from Abantuku. Good morning, the guest in the house, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
Professor, I disagree with you that government will provide everything. Government.
You are free to
Okay,
do that,
will
sir.
Nigerians provide adequate water supply? Will Nigerians provide good electric supply. These are basic functions of the government, and the government are shacking away, cannot cope with those amenities. As you are saying, people are just always looking at the government, government, government. So over to this issue of these deportees. Really, they have been deported back home. The government has that social responsibility to take care of them. Either keep them in ID camps, I will not know, but at least, thank you, the government is saying it wants to re-diversify. I think it can make good use of these people. But again, the government, I don't know whether they are saying the truth about agriculture, going to agriculture, going to agriculture. So if they really go into agriculture, establish large farms all over the country, these people can be easily be co-opted into those ventures. So I think any country that deports them home has the right, if they are staying there illegally, they can come back home, and at least the government should be able to take care of them in a way, like I have just said. Then, like you have been saying, Donald Trump, my brother, Donald Trump is a member of the Ku Klux Klan that believes only in America and Americans. Look at it now. The thank God, I don't know what Nostradamus, the philosopher who once predicted that some small nation
2 minutes.
in the world, yes, but then I will go to court and challenge this your draconian order.
I'm sorry about that.
You don't know how much you are going to waste in court
I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry. All right, just round up and
Yes, drop the call.
Okay, yes, sir, that's the last call. Obviously for the program.
Okay, for the messages, Israel that called earlier, he says there's a meat believed to be human meat, and they have encountered that at Chienye, and so at NSCDC headquarters, the whole community is outside. Let Rock City call more. Then the northerners are involved too, to go to Kano Airport and see deportees from
We are not talking about
We're not
where
talking
they
about
go with Nigeria. Who is,
okay, that's Olushola Johnson.
It's a Nigerian problem.
Then Kolawole Joseph. Good morning, Prof. Dele and Chienye. Are you telling me not to travel with the 18,000 naira minimum wage? Please tell me what I can do here in Nigeria with such amounts. Okay, then for the tweet, Egunjobi Ganu, blameless, though we should blame less those that travel out of Nigeria. How many people rush out of Nigeria when number one is equal to $1? So let's do the needful on our economy is equal to $1. Okay, then Akorede Camille, what advice have you got for those going to Libya despite the newly immigration law in that country? Then I won't say you shouldn't travel if you want to, but what I think isn't right is leaving the country for volatile countries. Then for Egunjobi Ganu, Nigerian governments care less about the citizens, and citizens themselves are too gullible. They have been pauperized by governments, yet they celebrate them. Then Adekunle Kenny, the point is that the government remains pivotal on which every other thing rotates on. Okay, that's that.
All right, Professor Lee. Just,
I think Paul and Babare, I will not blame you for your position. We are in problems in this nation is because I will continue to say it. Those who supposed to vote even on the day of election, they will not go out to vote. Those who the dropouts, as some people call it, I am on the day of election. You see me in the last 3-4 elections. I travel from Lagos to my hometown about 300 kilometers away. You see people distributing money all over, and that is how they say it has always been. You are selling your birthright. Then what the money they should have used to provide social amenity, you have collected it, or after getting to power, they will be. So corruption is a major issue. Get to Lagos. If you are going from here to Baga, you see that there's a lot of transformation. Lagos is an example of states where the contract is still being very kept. Ogun is following, but some other states are failing. There's no doubt. People are entitled to travel. Don't misquote me. But what I'm saying is that people should travel legally. People should go following due process. Because if you travel without following due process and you are deported, you become problems, not only to Nigerian, but to your family. But they are not mentioning the name of your family now, they are mentioning the name of Nigerian. I am not entirely saying government is blameless. Government, we don't have plan here. We only concoct figures when we are planning, and therefore we always run into problems.
All right,
in our planning process.
Yes, this is the most convenient place for us, the junction, to end it this morning. We appreciate Professor Abiodun Oni. He is the head of the Department of Public Administration and Political Science, Babcock University, Ilishan-Remo State. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And of course, to all of you out there who've enjoyed it, who've listened, who've contributed, I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria. God bless Rock City. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Whatever it is you seek in Sokoto is right there in your Sokoto trouser. Where the